Yeah, they just factory the cash, so right
Right.
back in stock.
No, they don't stop, but I'm saying the investments, they got to
Okay.
crush it.
Call the meeting to order. Can I have a salute to the flag? Mr. Bezzetta, would you like to lead us?
Yeah.
Pledge of allegiance.
Aye.
Pledge of allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice requirements of the New Jersey Public Meetings Law have been satisfied by noticing the Asbury Park Press, 2 River Times on January 3rd, 2025, stating that a regular meeting of the Colts Neck Township Committee would be held on August 13th, 2025, 7 p.m. Town Hall, 1 Veterans Way, Colts Neck. A copy is on file in the office of the Township Clerk. Further notice was provided to the Asbury Park Press on July 24th, 2025, noting the meeting time change from 7 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Thank you. May I have a roll call?
Deputy Mayor Viola.
Here.
Committeeman Buzetta.
Here.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick.
Here.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Here.
And Mayor Buss.
Here, Resolution 2025-139, executive session, potential litigation. Any comments?
Move.
Can I, thank you.
Second.
Roll call?
Deputy Mayor Viola.
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta.
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes.
And Mayor Buss.
Yes.
Hi, Anita. Hi, Emery. How are you?
Hi, for you.
All right. Right. This email, yeah, it's on the website.
So. Text.
You have one?
Yes, thank you.
Nobody wants to go out in this. What do you think? Counted, national land, I'm sorry. Everything's good. No, I know, but everything went well and all that, right? Wait, when we saw each other. I'm having a senior moment. Never mind.
I know all of you were there, because I was there.
I mean, I could see Greg asking this question. This seems like a
I'm
conversation.
having a senior moment. Great job. I got my coverage and, stop it.
Did you have your ice cream?
No, I didn't get ice cream, but that's okay.
It was good.
See?
I did get pizza. I didn't get pizza thing, but I like the pizza. The pizza was good. Pizza was very good. It was all good.
The Chick-fil-A nuggets were actually very good, but they didn't bring enough.
Do you know they brought over 300 servings and went through them that fast?
And a lot of people have, but some people were coming up and taking 5 and 6.
Oh, yeah, Lenny, how are you? How's it going? Good. How's staying here? I saw him last night. Yeah. There was 6 or 7 today. It's a lot. Absolutely, absolutely. The bad part of it, having cameras like this, is you get to see his bald spot in the back of his head. Yeah, that's Kelsey. I saw him. He that time. These are great initiatives because his father had it for years.
Didn't watch it on.
So he had 2 in front. Right, and he's also.
I got it. I have my
years. This. And he's got a new baby. He's got a baby.
But it's funny, everybody wants cameras, but everybody sits away from the
And,
camera.
It's like,
You look and there's no one here.
I had my fair share in Asbury Park. Township meetings.
Fruit. Don't want to get it. You know, they're.
It's a place I can go and I don't.
That's a plus right there. Because they.
This is true.
Right, right.
He's.
That's good. That's a good one. That was. That's a good thing. Laugh is good. Yeah, laughing's good. Well, yeah, this is, yeah, I hear you.
I was glad to see the girls' first chickens come out. That was great for the children. And what are you gonna do? What's up?
Hello? Nothing. What's the matter?
I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't care.
Right.
You don't, let me tell you.
Right. I'm not surprised. Right. 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 Okay. Right. Right. How do you know what? Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking houses. We pay
Well, they get one of them. Right. Right. You, it, right. Still, it's not like you know how much they will get, there must be tickets. Showing how much they pay. Right. Right.
He said, we can.
Right.
We signed. He said, then if Eddie was there, he was there, we can't. We signed.
There's a choice,
There's a
Right.
a trail.
Right, exactly. That's
How much,
right.
how much was given and how much was given. So they should be, they should all know that. I'm supposed to.
So that's what I want. That's what I want. He said, you can't always decide
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you, Tom?
Yeah. I believe it. I believe it.
Is it raining? Is it
Yes, it's pouring.
Oh,
We made it in just in time. Pouring.
yeah, like,
Unbelievable. Yeah, yeah, when it rains, it pours, and it's pouring now, so. But. No, it was probably September first. I'm not sure, I didn't hear anything, but I don't know, I'm not. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything, so I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, I will do this. Definitely, yeah, absolutely. All right. All right, thanks a lot, man, I appreciate it. Later.
well,
How are you?
all right. Oh, but did you have your say?
The book sale's not till November. The Bonnie and Dee had vacations, which screwed up October. And then all the building, so it closes, she's at. So, I don't know, October. And then, the election, they need to be, they're getting issues back. How did, National Night Out go? Reading.
Very well.
Yeah, we were lucky. Now we just got in the door and got poured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me.
I drove here in that. So scary. The rain from home? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Right.
So
Do you use free Wi-Fi here? Have you gotten on that Wi-Fi?
Oh, you won't know, you're not sure.
Or you use your phone? I'm not getting any complaints, so.
What's the matter? You looking at me funny?
I'm trying to think if I asked you about fire police for Halloween, no, not Halloween, Christmas, December 8th, I think, or 7th.
No, you didn't. Just send me a text.
Okay.
So I put it on the calendar and, we'll be there. You just gotta let me know, so I can schedule it.
I assume there'll be a lot of fireworks too.
Maybe, there's been three or four already today.
Really?
yellow? Yeah.
I heard there was an accident later than 34.
Yes.
There's one right in front of my house on White Oak area.
Oh, you on Widow?
Yeah, I work right there. Yeah. I think it was last night actually. There was one right in front of the company's cars.
There's one on 34, there was
One on
a
18.
fire alarm on Crossing, there was a supposed dump truck fire,
Yes.
garbage truck fire on 18.
Where are you
Amy
on
went
Widow?
to that one.
Well,
Oh, and St. Mary's, behind St. Mary's.
I
there was
didn't go to
one,
see it. There's not
like brush fire.
so where are you? On Widow, I live on Widow.
Oh, do you? I live on Acorn Place.
Okay,
Little bit-
I'm on, number 8, so the first bend. I have a little ranch.
Yeah, I'm ranch too. I'm just like up on a hill kinda. I'm right next to. Have you heard of the really loud German Shepherd dogs?
They're across the street.
They're across the street from me.
So you have, it's kind of like an odd shaped lot maybe?
Yeah. It's very
Okay, so
annoying.
you're diagonal for me.
Oh, really? That's cool. I babysit, if you know Doreen Fishes, her kids, I babysit their kids, yeah.
Okay.
I think I saw you guys at the eatery the other day. I think I was your waitress. I think it was, yeah.
You're all over the place.
I'm just all over.
What brings you here?
I was talking with the mayor, and she wanted me to pitch the idea of the youth advisory committee to the township.
What committee?
Youth advisory committee to the township.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Slow moving.
Okay, good night.
Are you going to propose that fire alarms, if there's nothing to them, that they should be built like police alarms?
Well, the township has an ordinance on the false alarms.
Okay.
I'm ready to know my captain of fire police.
Nice to meet you. I'm Miss Owens.
There's already an ordinance in place.
Well, I can't read everyone.
You haven't read every one of them.
Oh,
I know the long way out, they had to take it, you don't know,
The ones that are important. He's a friend of mine.
First thing we have to contract.
Oh, wow. You know, that's super fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So,
No, no, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I haven't seen it under really. But
Yes, it's an extra
especially
small.
Pennsylvania, a lot of New Jersey fire departments. They do, but it's a couple of times.
It's the one of yours.
No, it's a complicated procedure. So, they, definitely start, we have to give them permission. Then they bill the person in the insurance company. Then he's collected it, they don't collect it, they don't collect it. And they have to make a decision. Sue on it or they don't sue on it. And so we have the ultimate authority to say, no, it's sue. I don't know if this is, you know. And then we have the questions, what if the question's sure, what do you do then? Whether you're a town resident or they're not a resident.
There's a lot, yeah, there's a lot. You don't realize how much,
Yes.
all the little things.
We'll just keep scrolling.
Your secrecies, right, you get, who gets credit for what?
You spend some money on it, and then how much is left over, we do that, you know, it's gonna cost us $7,000. Which is nice, whatever they call it, whatever the system is.
Right.
That would be paid for out of this, not what you pay for.
I do.
You do it for fun.
I'm just doing a scrubby
As
thing.
soon as they fly, it's not gonna- In there, other local stuff.
It's, if you give them the flyers, I find that if you go back,
Right.
you don't get the money, you have to, you have to say that.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
If you can, some people you can get,
Without a doubt.
get it up front, like usually the guy, as a nursery, like, 30.
On the chain.
He'll write a check and then there.
Yeah. I know, because that's the environmental commission.
You know, like, see you with the Phoenix, it's the last year, some of the other doctors. You know, you
Or
they're not a dam,
Okay.
but they have 3 of their orthopedic surgeons. You know, on Crocero, if you go, if you turn off the Hyattsville, go down Crocero, big house near the end.
Yes, I know that.
That's one of their orthopedic surgeons.
Okay, gotcha.
They got 3 or 4 orthopedic surgeons.
Right.
From that group, live in town. That's what. People listen. I got a friend. I wasn't gonna do that. Send the letters, follow them out. Those people that I know, got some bucks and get it. I don't get that either.
Right there.
Was an executive session. They have an executive session.
Oh, look, now I finally got it. That took a long time. I've been trying to connect, it just came up with unified guest login. Oh my God.
What was that, 5+ minutes? Can I get in?
Oh, are you looking at
Goodness. Now you got 2 items. Oh, gosh. Yeah. So it's obviously been around for a while. But now, I think that in that case,
what is this?
yeah. I noticed how long it was about 15 years. And it was on the right day. They were pretty
See, they put you on the little buckets from that time? Shrewsbury and, it's Dr. Parker, whatever.
No, they won't, it was Kathy.
So it's broken down.
The other one was owned by the brother.
They both had hardware stores in Red Bank, one down the street from the other one. Becker's was Catherine and Shrewsbury. The brother was Fruit.
My mother was
Great son.
She's a hoot.
Yeah.
One word. I don't know.
And they had big
Yeah,
staff.
I know what you mean. That's quite all right. They told me to take all.
Information.
Is that-
That's right.
I missed that.
So, my husband worked, before that, my husband's father worked as well. He landed in Belport. My husband, this was, and I consulted for them, I was in Belport, so labs. But yeah, I did mostly a lot of government stuff for them. And had been at the place for 0 and 8 months, and then left the company, so it was companies, but it was all different companies back then.
Yeah.
Communication information systems. I loved it.
Yeah. Everybody loved it.
Until telecom crashed.
Well, it was, I think it was. I lived
Okay. So did you work for SBC then, or? Okay.
No, I worked for another I'd always.
He's a funny dude. Funny dude.
I mean, back then, I mean, we used to just, I used to use C units, walk instead, and manipulate the data in the files and stuff like that, the handoff between, different companies and stuff. Now it's,
One of my first vivid, long reason to
They're an executive session.
They needed to go to different modified for those. Guess what? AT&T worked with development units at C. And so I was here with a friend who was kind of getting software so that it worked. I remember when we first came into town and it worked. We ended up going across the Ridge Road, which goes almost all the way to Ridge Road.
okay.
And it's beautiful, all along there, you have stuff on both sides. And so that certainly didn't hurt, enough feeling better.
So you went to Bedminster, which is where they used to have the network operations center.
I have been there, in fact, in I actually worked there for 1 year.
Okay.
I have been at Bell.
Hey,
How are you?
how you doing, my friend?
Just talking about you today.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Just
that
checking
what
on
it
the date for
says?
the recycling.
Interface there a couple times.
Oh, for the, you mean the shredding?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
I think it's, what is it, September
So
this year? Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure we had.
yeah, yeah. You been all right? You having a good summer? Good.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Saw your daughter and grandchildren not too long ago. I
What's
think it was
going
at the
on, Alan?
fireworks. The fireworks.
Yeah. What's in the concerts too?
Yep, yep. What is it?
Library. Oh, okay.
Want me to do it?
What does she want?
Just jump in real quick, just say, look, you're not saying it, just say it. Yeah, no, you won't, I won't be offended.
Oh, see, I should have done that. Megan, do we have to do a roll call?
No, it's I.
I apologize for our delay. Can I have a motion to go back into session?
Moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So welcome, everyone. I apologize. We have a mayor's proclamation here for International Overdose. I should probably clarify, International Overdose Awareness Day. I apologize, Anita. International Overdose Awareness Day, August 31st, 2025, within Colts Neck Township. Whereas Colts Neck Township does affirm and acknowledge the harm and hardship caused by drug overdose, and whereas we recognize the purpose of International Overdose Awareness Day as remembering loved ones lost to overdose and ending the stigma of drug-related deaths, and whereas the IOAD 2005 theme, One Big Family Driven by Hope, this theme emphasizes the importance of unity, compassion, and collective action in addressing the overdose crisis. And whereas Colts Neck Township resolves to play our part in reducing the toll of overdose in our community, and whereas we affirm that the people affected by overdose are our sons and daughters, our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters, and deserving of our love, compassion, and support. Now, therefore, it be resolved, I, Tara Torsha Buss, Mayor of Colts Neck Township, together with the entire Colts Neck Township Committee, do hereby proclaim August 31st, 2025 as Overdose Awareness Day in Colts Neck Township. This we will leave for Anita up here. Thank you for all that you do for the Colts Neck Prevention Alliance. And we'll give a big thank you later when we do reports on National Night Out. And I do want to make the announcement also for those of you that have seen the purple flags around town. Sue, you oftentimes help put these out every year.
Yes, well, it's with Prevention First, and that's an organization, and that's what they do. They deal with drug awareness and many other issues with families. And so they had started asking us if we would put the purple flags out and the signs, and we're certainly happy to do that. And I think that awareness has really helped in the number of people that are overdosing, thank God. This quarter, it was 13. I mean, 13 is too many, but compared to being 91 or 30, so very thankful for that.
Yeah, and the purple flags, a lot of times you'll see them in different municipalities, outside the town halls. Sometimes they have them at the high schools, just as awareness. So again, thank you, Anita, for all that you do with the Prevention Alliance. Minutes, July 9th, 2025, regular meeting. Any comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
Move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion items. Why don't we start here? Colts Neck Fire Department. Ray Chabelle has so kindly offered to come here and discuss with us some discussion that's been going on in EFC, which is Executive Fire Council. And as the liaison, I've been hearing about some of this. And I wanted Mr. Chabelle to give us some color information so we understand for the public who are streaming at home, the public who are here, and for the governing body members to understand what this is all about. Want to come up and
You know, it's easier if I sit down. Can I sit here?
Sure.
you are probably used to being
Is the mic-
comfortable
Does
in
the
your.
mic work?
Is the mic on? And then,
No, right, just do your favor, hit that middle button and turn that microphone on.
Middle button. This one?
No, right on the mic.
the base of the microphone.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
It's already green.
Oh, well,
Good.
there you go. There you go.
Green is good.
We had tentatively submitted an ordinance which provides for an incentive program whereby the fire department would bill for each incident that occurs in the town where the fire department has to respond. This is something that is done nationwide. It's done in this county all over. It's a source of revenue that incentivizes members to join. It's so complicated, it's not easy to explain it, but there is a schedule that is set up. So many different towns have same or similar schedules where each type of an incident would be billed in a certain fashion. Let's say a motor vehicle incident, hazardous materials would be billed at $602. Car fire, $838. These are just examples. If there's an extrication from the vehicle, it's $1,811. Now, most people have insurance, but not everybody, but most people have insurance. Even for their house, if we go there, not for a false alarm, but if we go to their house for a call, there's a certain criteria for what equipment is used, how long we're there for, what equipment is expended, if a hose is broken, which happens frequently. There's a separate billing item for all of that. They get billed for it. It goes to their insurance company, and their insurance company, most of the time, pays for it. Prime example is Jersey Central Power and Light Company. You hit one of their poles. Well, they come and fix it. You get the bill. You don't necessarily see it, but your insurance company gets the bill for the repair of the pole, whatever they have to do. There's provisions that in the event that a resident does not have insurance or a resident's insurance company pays 20% of the bill, they wouldn't be sued. We have the discretion to say, you don't go after that. And there can be, by law, a differentiation on how we work this between residents and non-residents. So we can we can be lax towards lax isn't a good word, but we can give more consideration to residents. We don't want to put anybody in a bind where they're taking money out of their pocket. If somebody is drunk and they slam into another car and we have to come and rescue somebody, well, if we have to collect from them after their insurance, well, they deserve it for the type of act. But, the average everyday resident of the town, we're not going to do that. And we don't collect this money ourselves. It's through a third-party agency that we would contract with. Nobody does it themselves that I know of in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. They all use an outside agency. And generally, they charge anywhere from 20 to 25% for the collection of the money.
Right.
And we always have the option to tell them, no, stop. Don't go any farther with this. Don't bother that person. It's waived. Now, it's a complicated procedure on what do you do with the money? Okay, the money is collected. The money has to go in a separate dedicated account. Each individual that responds to a call would get, depending upon the call, if it's a nighttime call between midnight and 6 a.m., they get 2 points. If it's a normal daytime call, they get 1 point. And they tally up their points, and then they would get for want of a better word, a subsidy or a bonus out of that money. we have no idea what we're going to be able to collect and what we're not going to be able to collect. So it's going to have to be reviewed. If there's 20 people that are all due money and there's not enough money, obviously it has to be scaled back. But the money is also there to meet the budget shortfall. Now, as you all know, what we put in for our budget and what you actually approve, there's a tremendous shortfall. And we're now in a situation where our normal run reports that we are mandatorily have to complete, the company is out of business. They're done. So we have to get a new company. And the last estimate we got, and I just finished reviewing the contract, is $7,000 a year. We have the machine that's over at number one that fills up the air bottles. That's between $4,000 and $5,000 a year for a maintenance contract. You can't not have the maintenance contract. If it goes bad, well, what are you going to say? We're not going to fill up our air bottles and we're going to, go into a fire without any air. I mean, these are things we have to provide, and they're not in the budget, and they don't get approved in the budget. We pay them out of the money from the EFC that we raise through the letters. So there's a lot of other things that we also spend money on. Training. We did a couple of years ago. We had the New York Fire Department come down and teach us how to rescue people from elevators. Unbelievable. They were just phenomenal. They do more elevator rescues in one day than we do in 1 year. That's $1,500. So the more money we have to spend on training, the better we're going to be. And God knows we've been looking at these apartments, and I hate to bring them up, but it's a nightmare. It's not an everyday fight a fire and one gets on fire. It's complicated. There's a lot of issues, and we're going to need a lot of training. And we can't just train ourselves. We're going to have to hire people to train us, because you want us to be the best. You want us to do as well as we can to save people's lives, to save people's homes. It reflects on you, and as much as it reflects on us. This is all materials that I've collected from other towns.
Mr. Chabot, will you keep referencing other towns? What other towns in Monmouth County?
I don't know all the ones in Monmouth.
Are there any?
Yes, there are, but I can't tell you.
Marlboro does billing, Freehold.
Townships?
There's several of the Freehold Townships ones that, well, I would assume all of if some of them do, I would think all of them do, but they're districted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a difference than a volunteer fire department. Most towns that have volunteer fire departments are assuming the residents that are paying their taxes, that are paying for these services. So this is a novel concept that you're presenting. I mean, we all remember Findell.
It's not novel at all. If you go on and look up Milltown Rescue Squad, they have a fantastic.
I represent the borough of Milltown, so I understand that. But
This is Milltown.
I do.
You represent Milltown?
I do.
Well,
I'm like, wait, where's Milltown?
Yeah, I'm bond counsel from Milltown. Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't MedStar use this? The county use this
yes,
program?
they do use this.
The county again.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a volunteer fire department mentality.
Milltown
Monmouth.
Rescue Squad is all volunteer, and they did a phenomenal website to explain it to the public.
But you see where these types of services, typically residents would think that their tax-paying dollars are paying for these types of emergency services.
They do pay for the emergency services up to a point, but the problem we have is try getting volunteers. They have made the fire academy so onerous that it's very difficult to get anybody that's going to spend the time to go. Dan will tell you, it's not an easy, besides physically how difficult it is, it's time consuming, and we're having trouble getting volunteers. We had 15 fire police at one time. We have 5 active fire police now. The only way we're going to get volunteers is to have an incentive. So the money is an incentive. It's not a lot of money. but it's an incentive to get the people to come and to participate and to go out on calls. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, you look at, you look at your phone and you say, do I really want to get up out of bed and run to this call? But somebody has to do it. It has to be done. And if there's an incentive for it, that's what this part is.
So you had mentioned several requirements or potential uses for the funds, such as incentives, equipment, and training. Do you have anything planned? 50% for incentives, 25 for training, 25% for
No, we do
equipment?
not, because we don't know how much money. We don't know how much money we're going to be collecting. So
Can you do a pro forma on what you did last year and run a calculation?
how much, well, we didn't do an incentive program last year.
How
No,
is it-
no,
how does
you
it-
have the records from your
Yeah, I was
calls
gonna-
last year. Just take those calls and do a calculation with the data that you have and see what it would have yielded.
I just
Wait,
want to
wait,
chime in
yeah.
with some of the discussions that have happened at EFC about this. So this is really trying to do soft billing. So as opposed to, I believe the county is doing hard billing through MedStar. So soft billing, so residents are not going to be receiving this at their homes. It's going directly to the insurance. And obviously you can, change that. I think the fire department looked at a variety through EFC, looked at a variety of the towns around. And I would say, I think we can get that list for everybody, because I think that's important information to have, to know what volunteer fire departments are doing this around us. This definitely is something that I can tell you that a variety are looking into doing this. And I think that from the level of what EFC said, that it would be broken down for like percentages, like a percentage would go to training and a percentage would go to incentives. And this is very similar to how LoSAP is run, where people scan in, they scan out, points are divvied up, and it would be according to that. It is a lot to manage, so it would be done by a third party. The money would not necessarily be coming into the township. It would be in a separate dedicated fund, so the township wouldn't be responsible for it. But if we vote on it, we're saying, yes, we will allow this to happen based upon these parameters, such as a percentage would go to training, a percentage is incentives. And what are these incentives? Like some towns are doing $10 overnights. Like if you respond to a call, you're going to get $10 for that. And that's more incentives for people to join. Other towns like Middletown is doing, this isn't anything to do with the billing, but they are doing property tax credits, those kinds of things, like incentives to enhance not just the volunteerism, because that's part of it, but also to cover budget shortfalls. Because as we know, we don't have that many ratables in our town. We do have budget shortfalls for everything. So if this could potentially be a way to supplement some of those shortfalls, that's why it's being looked at. So this has been in discussion in Executive Fire Council for well over a year, and I've only been the liaison for that time frame. Ray, you could say maybe it's been going on. This might have been discussed for years. I apologize, Committeeman Viola, you were also
2 or 3 years
liaison.
at least.
Been discussed for
So,
4 years, I believe. 4 or 5
there's
years.
definitely a lot that are moving in that direction. And one of the things I can work on with EFC, getting those getting the towns, because I think that'd be
I
very
also have
helpful.
concerns, Mary, in connection with treating non-residents and residents different. I'm not sure how that is legally done. Additionally, I have concerns in connection with the picking and choosing of what residents are going to be you're going to apply this. It seems like you're making.
No, I think you misunderstood me.
I may have. Go ahead.
We have the right to say that, let's say we bill a resident $1,000 and their insurance company pays $500. We have the right to say, okay, that's enough. Don't go after the other $500 from them personally.
So it's just a result of the determination of the insurance company.
Right. I have somewhere on the website that Milltown, they go into how you can treat the non-residents and the residents legally different than not. So
I'd have to look into that.
I'm sure you would. Considering you're an attorney, as we all know,
Yes.
and I've only known your dad for 53 years.
He is an attorney as well.
53 years. I've known her.
So for incentive, is there a 1099 or a taxable document at the end of the year?
Yes, there would have to be.
And that would be issued by that management company?
And, well, that I'm not sure. That'd probably go through our accountant would issue it.
All right, man, I'll look into it, absolutely. I need that list of.
Yeah, I
towns.
think that-
Marlboro, you can start with Marlboro because I know they do that. And because we went, we had one of our firemen have to be taken away by ambulance. And it was a Marlboro ambulance that took him away from a fire that we had. And they sent us a bill. So the town got the bill. I'm sure you didn't pay it, but because we called and screamed and yelled at them. Because they came from mutual aid and they're billing us to take one of our firemen to the hospital. That was a little insane, but they do it regularly.
Counselor, would there be a difference between all volunteer and districts?
Yes, there's absolutely different. It's a whole different, you're guided by an entire different
Because
body of law.
it's a government entity, it's a taxable entity.
Yes. That's why I would like to see the volunteer towns that are implementing this.
Yes, and whether or not they're districted or not, yeah, absolutely. Okay,
Thank you.
we appreciate you coming in and talking to us about it.
Well, you're welcome. Anybody who wants any other further information, just let me know.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, we
Ray.
appreciate that. And thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you, Captain.
We. Okay, moving on. We have a second discussion item. Isabella McAllister is here. Would you like to come on up? You can stand and talk, or you can sit down, whatever you're more comfortable with. You're
I think I
here.
will stand, although this is a little tall for me. but-
You can just shift it down a little bit.
Even
The-
just
the
the
mic-
whole
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Or you could pull it off, hold it like you're singing in a band.
I used to do that a lot when I was little, so maybe it would be comforting. But I'll just quickly introduce myself. My name's Isabella McAllister. I live here in Colts Neck. I've lived here for about the past 2 years, and I'm a rising senior at Colts Neck High School. I waitress at the Colts Neck Eatery. I actually served those nice people over there. And I love this town, and I've been loving this school. And I'm here today to propose that Colts Neck Township inducts a youth advisory committee into our local community. The youth advisory committee will consist of dedicated and action-oriented group of Colts Neck's youth. This would be independent of the school system, and it would be chosen through a in-depth application process that hopefully the township committee would look through and approve. And I'm sure some of you may be surprised to be seeing someone so young here today. And I think that's a big reason of why having a youth advisory committee would be so important and bring a lot of newness and youth involvement into our community. And more often than not, youth voices are ignored or suppressed or even ridiculed without regards to one's value, intelligence, humanity, simply because of our age. And I understand that, yes, adults do have a lot more experience, and there is definitely meaning behind that and importance behind that, but there's also importance in the newness of youth and our ideas and our opinions. And I believe that a youth advisory committee would give us a platform to be heard and encourage community involvement, foster future strong young leaders, and allow youth to directly involve themselves into civic discussions under professionals. Selected members would have certain responsibilities, like they would have to meet once a month with our peers via Zoom or in person. And they would also, during these peer meetings, they would conduct in-depth research on current issues that were affecting youth today, review relevant and past present laws of Colts Neck that might influence the discussions that we may have. They would also have to meet once a month with the township committee, and this is something that Marlboro implements. They have a teen advisory committee in their town, and they've had it for a long time now. Most of it is through volunteer work, which is something that I also propose that the Youth Advisory Committee, if involved here, would definitely do, supporting local youth charities, recreational educational events for children and teens, and supporting other Colts Next committees like the Recreation or Historic Prevention Committee, as well as serving as an example and as encouragement for our fellow teenagers to come out and get involved in the town. I know I've lived here for about 2 years, and I haven't met a lot of people. I haven't seen a lot of people my age out in town events, and that makes me sad because it's fun. It's fun to get out there. It's fun to connect and, learn about your town, learn about the people that you live with, your neighbors. That's something that, especially with the rise of social media and how much it influences teenagers' daily lives, it's something that we don't get to see very often. And I think having a youth advisory committee here in Colts Neck would encourage kids my age to learn how to have professional, productive discussions within our government, and also learn how to be a part of the community, a productive citizen. And something that Mayor Buss and I were talking about is, how do we see this becoming a lasting part of Colts Neck? And something that I think would be very crucial is that committee members are prepared to serve their town in a positive way, that the new members be partnered up with current members at least a month prior before they're inducted into the committee. And as Colts Neck has become a hub for people that are interested in law and government and leadership through programs like ROTC and the Law and Public Services, I think that there would be no shortage of kids interested. I've already talked to a few of my friends, a few of people from, I also am president of NHS at Colts Neck High School, so I've talked to a couple of our executive
That's
board.
a National Honor Society.
National Honor Society.
For very smart people.
I've talked to a couple of our other executive board members there, and they're very interested and they would love to be involved. And I know a couple of them have had experience at Marlboro, where they've been a part of the Teen Advisory Committee, and they've had a very positive experience. So thank you for listening.
Well, I applaud you for coming out and speaking to the 2 billion people on social media, on YouTube. I thought it was important that you came in. We had discussed, I think I love your enthusiasm. I love the passion that you bring to the table.
Thank you.
And one of the questions I had for Isabella, and you guys might have this same question. I'll give you guys a chance to ask, but we have several boards, committees, and commissions here in our town: Environmental Commission, Recreation Committee. And I said, how would this be different than just, say, incorporating more youth into our current committees that are already established and formed? And if you wanted to answer that,
Sure, of course.
just how would that be different? Because I do think youth voices are very important. So.
Right, yes. So what I personally believe is that if we have a committee that is focused in on youth, it will draw them in more personally than it would to be, okay, here's an adult coming to you saying, you should get involved in this, you should get involved in your town. I think that it would, I'm sure many of you have kids that have experienced this where, they don't want to go somewhere because other kids their age aren't going. It's a problem, and it shouldn't have to be like that. You shouldn't have to, kind of dangle candy in front of them and be like, come here, come to this township committee meeting. You shouldn't have to do that, but often, more times than not, that is the reality, where kids are going to want to be involved with other kids, with kids their age. And majority of kids aren't going to want to come out to the recreation community events because they see just people, 40, 30 years older than them. And they don't feel valued. Maybe they don't. Oh, sorry. They've 10 years, 5 years,
Exactly.
2 years. They might not feel like they're going to be respected or valued, because in events such as that, especially within government, youth are often not seen as professionals or people that can be, I guess, taught to be professional in that environment. And I think having a council or a committee specific to youth would give kids my age that incentive to come out there and be a part of it and say, okay, kids my age are doing this. Maybe this is something I would want to get involved in too.
Yeah, because one of the things that until you said it to me, okay, because we do have on the Colts Neck Prevention Alliance, we happen to have a freshman right now.
Mhm.
She happens to be pretty out, what?
Sophomore.
Sophomore.
I'm sorry, she's a rising sophomore. You're right, you're right. But she joined, she happens to be more adult-like, but I'm thinking we have youth sitting there, but you had said that how much is a teen or youth going to participate in these meetings that are pretty much all adults? So you're not going to have the same interactions as if it was a teen or a youth group. So I thought that was interesting perspective I didn't have. And I just wanted to give the opportunity for you guys to ask questions or.
I think it's a fantastic idea. I
Thank you.
think, I don't know what that kind of committee would be formed, because I think to serve on a standing committee, you have to be 18. But
Right.
you could put in your bylaws that it's compulsory upon your 18th birthday to join one of the committees. So I'm just kidding.
I mean, you got
That
two
would be,
months.
that would be nice, but no, I'm just kidding. But I know it's a fantastic plan, and I think specifically the point you brought up about the academies that are in Colts Neck High School, both specifically very public service oriented already,
Right.
and now this is an outlet to, I don't have to go far
Mhm.
across the state to volunteer.
Right.
I'm right here, I could help out at the most, basic.
Would the
local
meetings
level.
be in the school or would they be here?
They would be here. The meetings with the peers, with like kids my age, they would be, we could find somewhere else to meet if we're all going to Colts Neck High School. The thing that I wanted to make clear about this is I don't want it to be something that's through the school system, because I still want to give kids that
That's what
maybe
I
are
wanna-
homeschooled
yeah.
or maybe are districted to Marlboro or districted to Freehold, still that same opportunity to still have that same influence and that same importance in the committee, even regardless of their educational path.
Right, because it would be an advisory group for Colts Neck
Mhm.
Township, not,
So we'd have to get waivers from parents and things of that nature put together. Because obviously they are, as to your point, under 18.
The once a month meetings, that's similar to what Marlboro Township does. They do the once a month, the kids come in and they meet with the township committee in their courtroom. But the meetings with just the kids could be held in school if we happen to all be there, or outside of school since we all live close to each other, or over Zoom.
Oh, Zoom is in.
So,
That's another option.
what guarantees can you give that this program will be better than Marlboro's?
Well,
I need a
very
list of
competitive.
improvements.
Okay.
Bigger and better.
okay. Well, I would say that we would get a good amount of girls and boys, make it even there, and have different perspectives. And I would also say that with Marlboro's Teen Advisory Committee, majority of their work is volunteer oriented, and that's wonderful. And I hope to do that here if you guys are, if you're around for it. But I also want to make sure that we do something that Marlboro hasn't necessarily done, is we make sure that the kids are constantly involved within the government, within our local government, because that's what this is for, right? It's not just to get volunteer hours. It's not just to say, oh, I write that down in your college resume. I was here when this happened. No, it's to get that experience, to see what you guys are doing, to see the behind the scenes of how our town runs, how it does. And I think that that's something that we could definitely implement that would bring us up a couple notches.
Perfect.
you guys have.
Well,
questions?
I'd like to compliment you on your passion, your preparation, and your ability to articulate both.
Thank you.
I think this is something that we should consider seriously. I'd like to see anything that you may have prepared for us to review,
Yes.
but thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Isabella, thank you so much for your very thoughtful presentation. I
Thank
love
you.
it. What age group would the kids in this committee have? Are they high school kids?
High school kids, I would say, because majority of college kids aren't here year round. Otherwise, that's something that we would have to talk about if you guys decide that this is something you would want to implement into Colts Neck Township. But me personally, I believe around junior year, I think would be a good place to start. So 16 to maybe 18. And, if a college kid happens to want to be included and maybe they go to Monmouth or Brookdale, then absolutely. But I'm just saying for the purpose of, traveling and not constantly being available to meet, majority of the times college kids probably won't be able to.
So you're not suggesting that freshman or sophomore be involved?
No, I don't think so.
You think that's too young?
It depends. It depends on how involved you guys want us to be. I think, knowing myself as a freshman and sophomore, I don't think that I would be ready for that type of commitment, especially, through freshman, sophomore year, you're still deciding what you want to do. You don't have your core classes initially laid out. I think by junior and senior year, you're definitely a lot more confident in what you plan to do after school, and you can start, choosing what you spend your time on more specifically to what you want to do with your life. And I think that junior and senior year are the years that you have that solid.
So, Madam Mayor, I love the idea. I would love the idea for this committee to advise us on what the youth are thinking, what
Yes,
you would like
absolutely.
to see in this town. I mean, you're a year removed from voting probably.
Mhm.
If we open it up to 16 and 18-year-olds, you're 1 or 2 years away from voting in this town. So
Right.
I think, your opinions, your thoughts on the direction of this town, what you'd like to see in this town would be valuable for all of us to have. So anyway,
Absolutely.
thank you very much. I
Of
appreciate
course.
your time.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
I just wanted to add one thing about, you were talking about the age level, and I know you're thinking freshman and sophomore, but what I'm thinking about is the continuity moving forward. So if you start with the freshman and sophomore, and they're building their experience so that when they become the juniors and seniors, instead of stepping in and have to recreate the whole mission again, I think it's good to have them groomed if they want to. I think
Yeah.
you should open the door for that.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we can certainly look into some of the specifics on that.
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll look at the legal piece as well.
It's
And
important.
just one last checking, you're saying Colts Neck kids, right?
Colts Neck kids.
Yeah.
Kids that live in Colts Neck.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Well done.
We really appreciate you
Of
coming
course.
out.
You did a great job.
Now, just so you know, we're going to continue on with the meeting. You should
Have to
be
stay.
staying. You just talked about government, so listen.
You can't leave now.
Yep, can't leave now. Old business. This is our second reading, public hearing, ordinance 2025-14. This is ordinance authorizing the leasing of certain capital equipment by Colts Neck Township, New Jersey, from the Monmouth County Improvement Authority and the execution of a lease agreement relating thereto. This is second reading, public hearing by title.
I can speak to that, Mayor. Yeah, so this is in connection with the 2025 budget. So these are capital items that we've chosen to purchase through the MCIA program. It includes police vehicles, some DPW equipment, the ladder truck for the fire department, and that's about it.
Excellent. Can I have a motion to open a public hearing?
Moved.
Second?
Anyone from the public would like to speak on this ordinance? Can I get a motion to close public hearing?
Moved.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Second?
Are you?
I heard somebody speak and say they.
Can I get a motion to approve?
Moved.
Second?
Roll call vote?
Deputy Mayor Viola?
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta,
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto,
Yes.
and Mayor Bus.
Yes. New business, first reading, introduction, ordinance 2025-15. This is an ordinance of Colts Neck Township in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 195, Solid Waste, Article 3, Refuse Containers, Dumpsters of the Code of Colts Neck Township. This is the first reading, introduction by title. Comments?
Yes, Mayor. So this and several of the ordinance open for introduction this evening are in connection with the discussion items that Tim Manfuso, our planning and zoning officer, presented at the last meeting. This one in particular is in connection with amending our code that would prohibit refuse collection / dumpsters in public right-of-ways.
Anyone else? No. Can I get a motion to approve?
Long range.
Moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Deputy Mayor Viola?
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta,
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto,
Yes.
and Mayor Bus.
Yes. Public hearing scheduled for September 10th, 2025. I do also want to clarify for anyone here in the public and people watching at home, if you are curious to hear Tim Manfuso's explanations of these further, you can go back and watch the live stream from our last meeting in July. Next, first reading introduction, ordinance 2025-16, an ordinance, Colts Neck Township in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 79, Animals, Article 1, Dogs, subsection 79-4, nuisances on public property of the Code of Colts Neck Township. This is the first reading introduction by title.
Right, and again, this would prohibit dogs playing on, or dogs being on playing surfaces of our fields to protect our fields.
Yes.
Prohibits them on baseball field, soccer, football, tennis, pickleball, et cetera.
Mhm.
Obviously, their waste is a problem.
Yes.
They can, though, I think it's important for the dog lovers out there, including myself, you can still bring your dog as a spectator. They have to be leashed and brought to the spectator area.
Yeah.
So it doesn't prohibit dogs from coming to these events, just not running loose and
Yeah, basically taking
Doing
off
business.
and people like using it as a dog park, basically.
Correct.
Can I get a motion to approve?
Move.
Second?
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Viola,
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta,
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto,
Yes.
and Mayor Bus.
Yes. Public hearing is also scheduled for September 10th, 2025. Ordinance 2025-17. This is another one, an ordinance of Colts Neck Township in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 102, Development Regulations of the Code of Colts Neck Township. This is the first reading introduction by title.
yeah, this one is specific to amending our development regulations in order to further protect the riparian buffers in connection with stormwater management. So
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve?
Moved.
Second.
Are we going to fight out who was second?
Is that one buzz?
I got Dan,
roll call?
yeah. Deputy Mayor Viola,
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta,
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto,
Yes.
and Mayor Bus.
Yes, public hearing scheduled for September 10th, 2025. And we have ordinance 2025-19, bond ordinance, providing for the extension of affordability controls.
No,
and
no, no.
oh, you skipped one.
18.
D.
Didn't I just,
There was two of them for
oh,
development.
thank you, thank you.
I know, it's a lot.
I got all excited.
A lot of bullets
Or-
on
It's
this
a
one.
lot.
I got excited for the
Lot of
affordability
introductions.
controls. Ordinance 2025-18, an ordinance of Colts Neck Township in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 102, Development, 102 of the Code of Colts Neck Township entitled Development Regulations. This is first reading, introduction by title.
Right, this one,
Comments?
if you recall, is in connection with non-residential buildings to ensure that standards are consistent for aesthetically pleasing and durability, and integrated with the surrounding environment, et cetera.
So any existing business in a business district is grandfathered in, but if they were to redevelop, they would be held to these standards, or any new development would be held to these standards. And there's a bunch.
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve?
Moved.
Second?
Roll call vote?
Deputy Mayor Viola,
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta,
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto,
Yes.
and Mayor Bus.
Yes. I know you're all going to be surprised, but public hearing is in fact scheduled for September 10th, 2025. Okay, now moving on to 2025-19. Bond ordinance providing for the extension of affordability controls on certain units located at the Grand at Colts Neck, a condominium in and by Colts Neck Township in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey, appropriating $2.5 million, therefore authorizing the issuance of $2,375,000 bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. This is the first reading, introduction by title. Comments?
If I may, Mayor, as Finance Chair. The affordability controls that we're working on for round 4 were from previous rounds that expired on June 30th of this year. We're trying to negotiate to extend them for the next 40-year period of time. So during round 4, we get credit for a affordable unit without having to build 5 total units. What I would note to the public is that the court order for our round 3 judgment of compliance and repose segregated the $1.3 million we currently host in the Developers Trust, which we would be able to utilize those funds for this purpose. That is one of the reasons for our appeal that we have right now with the appellate. That's a separate issue. So to be able to move forward and keep these activities moving towards closure, we're introducing this bond ordinance to fund the extension of affordability controls for round 4, the units at the Grand. There are 66 owner-occupied units and there are 22 rental units. So there's a total of 88 units that we're working on.
Mayor, may I?
Yes.
So, just so the public, and I know for the thousands of people who are watching,
Millions.
millions of people, this was fully discussed. This plan, this is a component of the plan that was fully discussed at the meeting held on what date, Mike?
July 11th.
July
June
11th.
June 11th.
I'm sorry, June 11th. So if we look back to the, that date and all the information that was put forth from that meeting, I refer everyone back to that night at that meeting. This plan was fully discussed. It was a packed auditorium of people and the whole town was there. And we fully discussed exactly how we're moving forward with this plan. And this is a component of that. So thank you, Mike, for all the hard work. And Dan.
Any other comments?
Yeah, just to underscore what Committeeman Viola said, I'm going to speak without the microphone. This is part of our strategy to satisfy the obligation which has been foisted upon us to have this high density housing. This is an opportunity to meet a portion of that responsibility with the existing housing that we have, some of it with the existing neighbors that we have who live there and may continue to live there. But the point, as Committeeman Viola said, is this really prevents or reduces the need for new construction. So I view this as a positive.
Excellent. Can I get a motion to approve?
Moved.
I just wanted to
Oh,
ask
I'm
you one
sorry.
question. I know you talked about the 1.3 million that we have in our fund. So if we win that appeal, we can use that money to pay down the bond. So even though we're bonding for the entire amount, we do have a possibility that would be almost half of that.
Exactly. If we succeed in the appeal and we're allowed to utilize the developers' trust monies, we will repay against what we borrowed.
And just to clarify, because I know Ms. McAllister is here, the Affordable Housing Trust is a trust that is not taxpayer money. It is fees paid by developers within our town that we're able to use for building new construction for affordable housing, extending affordability controls, rehabilitation of our units. So right now that's on pause, and we're hopefully going to win our appeal. So I did have a motion from Deputy Mayor Viola. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Deputy Mayor Viola?
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta?
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto?
Yes.
And Mayor Buss.
Yes, indeed. Public hearing scheduled for September 10th, 2025. Ordinance 2025-20, ordinance of the Township Committee of Colts Neck Township authorizing the acquisition of real property designated as Block 4101, Lot 43 on the tax map of Colts Neck. This is the first reading, introduction by title. Comments?
This is an owner-occupied unit in the Grand that we will buy as the township, and then we will sell to another qualified buyer. So it's a way for us to preserve that one unit, which again means there's 5 less building units to replace that one unit. So we may have to do this. There's 66 owner-occupied units. We may have to do this 65 more times.
And
But
each
if we do
unit
so,
will require its own
we
ordinance.
would gladly do so.
And if I might, to further clarify, we are acquiring this at a standard price set by the state. We will then sell this unit to a qualified homeowner at a standard price set by the state. There will be transaction costs, however, right? You have to pay the attorneys, insurance, whatnot. So there will be a small transaction cost that the township will have to pay on each unit. That's the price we pay to avoid additional development, because we're going to keep these units in the affordable housing pool. Fair point?
Perfect.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve?
Moved. Second.
Well, call it, clerk.
Flip a coin.
Who do you like better?
I don't flip anymore. You'll have to use a coin.
Who makes you work less?
Oh, well, that would be me.
Roll call?
Deputy Mayor Viola?
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta.
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Mayor, I'm going to call you Mayor Rizzuto
Thank
now.
you.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Once a mayor, always a mayor.
Yes.
True. Mayor Buss.
Yes. Public hearing scheduled for September 10th, 2025. Oh, thank goodness. Ordinance 2025-21, an ordinance amending the Emergency Services Volunteer Length of Service Award Program, also known as LOSAP, in Colts Neck Township to permit cost of living adjustments in the amount of township contributions. This is first reading, introduction by title. Comments? Would you be able to speak on that?
Certainly, Mayor. This ordinance simply allows for the increase pursuant to state guidelines for cost of living. We don't have to we can do this once, and every time the state resets that amount, it will go automatically after we pass it on.
Excellent. So yeah, this is, again, another incentive that we provide to our first responders for their volunteer service. And again, our firefighters and EMS are volunteer here. So any other comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion.
Moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Deputy Mayor Viola.
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta.
I'm recusing myself since I'm a member of the volunteer fire department.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
I recuse myself as a member of the fire department.
And Mayor Buss.
Yes. And just to keep it exciting, everybody, public hearing is scheduled for
When?
September 10th,
10th.
2025.
Bring your snacks and your nighties.
Yeah.
Next is consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by the township and or adopted and approved collectively by a single motion and roll call vote of a majority of the township committee. If discussion is desired on any item, it is considered separately. I have resolution 2025-140 to resolution 2025-150. Can I get a motion to approve?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Viola.
Yes.
Committeeman Buzetta.
Yes.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes.
And Mayor Buss.
Yes. Let's move on to approval of vouchers.
Mamma
Deputy
mia, that was a
Mayor,
heavy
this
lift.
is- Yeah, that was a lot.
That was 2 separate visits. The bills list is quite extensive and obviously significant in cost. But I will note that of the roughly just south of $15 million, 92% of it was between the Colts Neck Board of Education, Monmouth County, the library taxes, Monmouth County Open Space, Freehold Regional, and yeah, that's $13,756,108 or 92% of the cost. I found all in order. And I move the amount of $14,999,506.27 for payment.
I second that.
Roll call?
Deputy Mayor Viola.
Yes, with the exceptions of Bucks, Jolene, and Best.
Committeeman Buzetta.
Yes, with the exception of any payments to the fire department.
Committeewoman Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes, with the exception of the fire department.
And Mayor Buss.
Yes, with the exception of any bills related to the municipal court. Administrators report.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one item this evening. The Colts Neck Business Association is once again planning their 6th annual Polo Classic, scheduled for September 7th, 2025, Bucks Mill Park from 1 to 4:30 p.m. And they are once again requesting approval from the Township Committee to allow alcohol to be served and consumed.
I'm sorry, could you just repeat when that was?
Sure, September 7th, Bucks Mill Park, 1 to 4:30 p.m. So if there are no objections, we
I
will
do not. A
allow
wonderful
them to
event that the
proceed.
Business Association puts on, brought back. We used to have polo in town every week here in Colts Neck. So it's a really celebration of our equestrian history. I love it. Any others? Objections?
No.
Objections?
No.
Excellent.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank
That's all I
you.
have.
Township Committee reports. Committeeman Bezzetta. Would you like to start us off?
Just one report tonight, Mayor. I am the liaison to the code enforcement in town, and we've all heard, I've seen it. There are certain properties in the business district which are perhaps not as well kept as we'd like them to be, overgrown, vegetation, littering, lighting, the list can go on and on. Our code enforcement officer has been out, along with Mr. Mancuso. They've inspected these properties and they've issued violations where appropriate. Now, these are private properties, right? The township doesn't own these properties. We don't control these properties, but we do have ordinances on the books, and landlords and property owners need to abide by those ordinances. That helps all of us in town. We all want to be proud of our business district, and so we've heard those complaints. We know about them. We're on it. We're working to rectify the problem, and hopefully we will.
Excellent. Thank you. Committeewoman Fitzpatrick.
Okay, I just wanted to mention about National Night Out. It was a great night, and thank you, Anita, and the Alliance, and also our police officers who were there. I think everybody had a great time. There were lots of kids there, and that was really, really a lot of fun to see them. The Colts Neck Business Association, I attended their executive board meeting, and there's a discussion about the polo match coming up September 7th. Tailgates and tickets are available on their website if you want to purchase it. There's also a networking event at Trump National next Thursday. There's a lot going on next Thursday, so it's going to be a busy night.
Yeah, tomorrow, right? Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
The next Thursday, which
Next
is
Thursday.
tomorrow.
It's
Excellent.
tomorrow.
Just brought it in.
Excellent.
I have it in there, but yeah, next Thursday. And I attended the seniors luncheon as I always do. And I spoke and gave a brief report for Committeeman Buzetta, who was away. I just always enjoy seeing longtime friends there that my kids grew up with them and their kids. It's a lot of fun. Long range and planning was canceled. I have to say I was looking forward to the advancement of the Environmental Commission report, get it out of committee and adopt into our master plan, but unfortunately that was not the case, and I'm counting on September's meeting to make that happen. Farmland and Open Space Preservation had some good news. The final approvement on the inclusion of the Spinella Farm, 88 acres, into farmland preservation, which is a great thing for Colts Neck.
Yeah, there's a very nice press release on that.
It was.
Good job. Thank you
It
for
was.
all that you did with that.
The concert last Monday, that was a makeup, and the band was so good, the Glens, and they're all just young kids, and they had to do it on a Monday like this week because they're all going back to college, so they had to do that. But I really enjoyed it. They were what a great group of musicians too, also. And then just wanted to mention about putting up the flags. Anita and I have been doing that for several years. And I just think it's an important thing to do to raise awareness on a lot of different things, but especially on that. And I'm just happy to see that raising awareness, maybe even some of the Narcan that, being readily available has helped to reduce the deaths. So thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Rizzuto?
Historic preservation. Michelle was nice enough to brief me before the meeting. Halloween event, my favorite event of the year. Favorite event of the year is the Halloween hayride. Good volunteering for our newly formed.
Because you scare everybody.
Our youth committee's first event. Once we get formed up by October. October 25th, 26th is the rain date. That's 5 to 8. It is probably the best haunted attraction for the money. Please put the word out. Tell people, all the thousands of people viewing at home, please come out to this event. It is really a good time. We put a lot of work into it, and really, it's for the price point, you get a lot of Halloween for the price. So much more.
A lot of scare for your buck.
A lot of scare for your buck. December Country Christmas, our equally as successful event over at the Montrose School, where we show off our historic one-room schoolhouse. And we are doing that December 7th. It was a Pearl Harbor Day, right?
Yeah.
December 7th, 1 to 4, rain or shine. That's always a good one. I make the ham. So
It's delicious.
yeah. Talk to Chief DeVito. Car seats, contact the traffic safety unit, arrange, especially new parents, to get that car seat installed. I have 3 kids, and even after 3 kids, it was almost impossible to install a car seat without help. So get these guys actually get certified in car seat installation, and if you don't install a child seat, every time perfectly, it could be dangerous. So just take the course and go, let them install the first one, watch what they do, and avail yourself of that. And thank you to the chief and the guys for setting that up. He also wants you to go to the his Facebook page, the Colts Neck Police Department Facebook page, and keep an eye out for the next Coffee with the Cop, which is coming up. OEM is finishing up our mandatory reporting with wrangling up some signatures. Hopefully that'll be tied up and sent out to the state, to the county very, very soon. So everyone's working hard on that. And I do believe that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you.
Actually,
Deputy-
Mayor,
yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto allowed me
Yes.
to speak about the monthly police report, if I might. One of the things that we all should be grateful for in this town is how safe it is. And the tremendous job done by our men and women of the Colts Neck Police Department. Every month we get reports, statistics of what's happening in town. And, again, because of the hard work of the men and women of the police department, and because of the town that we live in, frankly, that we should all be so thankful for. Another month with 0 burglaries in town, another month with 0 robberies in town. There were 2 reported motor vehicle thefts, 3 larcenies. But these numbers, frankly, are a testament to the great work that our police department does. It's a great work to the testament to the residents of our town, and I, for one, am very proud of the work that they do here. And I think that they ought to be recognized every month, right? And we ought to tout these numbers because
Absolutely. They do a great
keeping all of
job.
us safe.
Amen.
Thank you.
And I would count it in myself, but I probably might come under slight criticism having been a policeman myself. So we'll let Dan brag about the numbers. But I don't want to seem like I'm, slanted towards the police department. They do a fantastic job. There's a couple of big cases that were on the internet. Please, believe a quarter of what you hear, even that's too much. On the internet, all things are well in hand and under investigation. Just if you have a concern, call the police department. Don't get your information from the internet, please, especially when it comes to criminal justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. A few things. Thank you, National Night Out. What a spectacular evening, well attended, lots of children engaging with law enforcement. Thank you, Anita, as the coordinator of Prevention Alliance. Thank you to PBA 333, Nick Tomeo as president. That's where the funding came from. Funding did not come from the township. It came from grants from Prevention Alliance and directly from the PBA. So thank you. Also, Monday night's concert, we've had some really spectacular weather. It was a beautiful night. 7-piece band that 3 or 4 of the kids were from Colts Neck. Great that they were able to slide in from their rained out date. And then lastly, regarding DPW, next Monday begins the 2-week pre-period to put brush out in Zone 1. Brush pickup for the fall cycle begins on September 1st. 2 rounds, 1 in September, 1 in October. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. The Fire Truck Spec Committee has been meeting with different vendors, visiting trucks to see different options that are available for our ladder truck. Working very hard and diligently on that. National Night Out was a huge success. You kind of took all my thunder, but just again, thank you to the Colts Neck Prevention Alliance, Anita Dedalia specifically, Officer Capriati also, who really works very closely with this every year. He supports this event. The PBA, Local 333, and the police department as a whole just really does a nice job. And this is done nationally, first Tuesday of the month in August. And I'm still voting for a dunk tank next year. We're going to get a dunk tank. And the mayor next year will be dunked accordingly. Just saying. And also, I wanted to follow up. Several people have asked about where we stand with our e-bike ordinances. I just want to let people know that that's going before long-range planning right now to look at different ordinances. I expect a recommendation from long range to the Township Committee in September. The one thing I will just say is I think a lot of people don't realize that we have a lot of enforcement capabilities as it stands now in our township. Things like people 14 and under, it's mandatory that they wear helmets. And yes, people are not. And yes, kids are being, I don't want to say pulled over by the cops, but pulled over, spoken to, and explain this. There are, unfortunately, some of these kids are driving what are mopeds, which have to be 16 and over. They're going way too fast, doing wheelies. It is certainly problematic, but with that being said, there's a lot being done currently. So just because we're looking at implementing an e-bike ordinance, I just want to be very clear, there is a lot that the police are doing with our youth right now, with the local laws that we do have, and the state laws that are out there. So just wanted to mention that. Friends of the Library. Michelle Batista is here. I actually brought flyers up here, so grab one before you go. Our book sale is Saturday, November 15th, 10 to 4 p.m., and Sunday, November 16th, 10 to 3 p.m. So they're taking book donations now until September 30th. And as everyone knows, if you're not going to take it to bed with you, we wouldn't want to donate it, right? Yes. We don't want any unsanitary books. So
Michelle, how many more book sales are you planning? Because we have to hear the same line
every
meeting.
time, every time.
2 a year, okay.
If you wouldn't take it to bed with you, don't donate it. So thank you. So grab a flyer. And also big congratulations to Dr. Amy Eschinger for getting I feel like I say her name incorrectly every time, for getting the garden at the library wildlife certified through the National Wildlife Foundation, which is excellent. So big congratulations. For anyone who hasn't been over to the garden, you really should go. It is absolutely beautiful. And
Marquee.
oh, excellent. So come to Town Hall and you can see a photo. Yes, go to the garden. Even better. That is all I have. Can I open it up for public comment? Colts Neck Township Committee welcomes comments from members of the public. Raise your hand if interested in being heard. Once recognized, identify yourself, clearly stating your name and address for the record. Your comments will be limited to 4 minutes, and once you have finished speaking or your 4 minutes has expired, we will respond accordingly. Can I get a motion to open public comment?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
My name is Adriana Sarapicillo. I live at 6 Birch Lane, Colts Neck. First, I want to thank you for serving our community. I've been a resident here for 40 years, raised my kids, and my kids moved back here. I'm so happy. I came before you probably 2 years ago about Big Brook. And we put up the signs and things, but things are not any better. In the past 2 weeks, the police have given out over 50 tickets. So the parking on Hillsdale, it's a 2-lane, and they're parking and they're restricting cars. They're driving e-bikes, they're barbecuing, the police are actually now not this weekend, the weekend before, there was a family reunion of 50 cars. The police were directing them into our developments. I mean, there's not much, that they can do. It's horrible. Kids are playing in the street. Somebody is going to get killed. That's what's going to happen. They don't care about the parking because $50 to them is a day out in a park. So when we say something like if we're walking down Hillsdale and we say there's no parking, they'll say $50 is nothing. I can't go anywhere with my family for $50. The Big Brook backs up to Cherry Drive, Dogwood Drive in our development. They're actually coming up to our backyards now. the people. I don't know what to do unless you have a park ranger or a police officer, or I think you should just shut down that entrance altogether. They can go by Boundary. There's a parking lot, on Boundary Road. They can go to 520 in Marlboro. There's a huge lot there, but TikTok has killed where we live. That's all I could say, because it was on TikTok, and for the 40 years that I've lived there, 35 years, I never saw a car there. We even have cars now that are parked there overnight that are camping in there. Now, unless the residents call the police, they're not going. And it's unfortunate. And sometimes I feel like this old Karen up there, like, hello, I'm at 6 Birch Lane, there's cars parked, and I'm like, I don't want to be that person, but I also don't want my quality of life where I live diminished. I don't want a diaper on my front lawn. I don't want them running through my sprinklers to get showered after Big Brook. I don't want it. That's not why I live here. And I really would love if you could just shut that down, because there is nobody that's patrolling it. Really, there isn't. And the police have other things to do than worry about, giving out a $50 ticket. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. So that's my dilemma. And I would have come with my entourage, but I was just so angry today that I said, I'm just going to go.
Your voice is enough.
Thanks. But I don't know if I spoke to someone and they said, bring pictures. Well, I get so upset when I see it. It's like, there's just like cars all over the place. And it doesn't seem like they go past, like they don't go to the winery. They come up the other way. So they're coming up through our development, because they have the signs down on Thunder Lane, I think it is. Mm-hmm. But they're not going down there. They're coming on to Birch, Cherry, Dogwood. They're coming in there, but I don't know. So if you
they're
can.
Parking deep into your neighborhood.
Yes, they are. They're parking. They're literally, and if it's a nice weekend, forget it. Like over this weekend, and the police are like giving out, but I love the policemen in this town. But that's
Ma'am,
not.
you've hit your 4 minutes.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I just want to thank you again for coming. I remember you came last year with the entourage, and we took it very seriously. We put no parking signs and restrictions up. Frank,
did you change the ordinance?
We changed the ordinance. Frank, you look like you were getting ready to jump in there.
No, I think the next stage is going to be to explore, and I know this is going to have to be our legal team's responsibility, start exploring permits, pre-registrations, and, the enforcement part of that's going to be, again, do they have to go to recreation and pull a permit, make the process a bit more than I'm just popping in. And there's no need for pictures. We believe you.
No.
We know.
Yeah, and we go as well. Can I just ask, the council, we cannot shut that park down.
Yes, you can. You can shut that entrance.
Shut that entrance down.
The problem is getting it out, though, because a lot of the information that's shared that drives the attendance is through the internet.
Physically.
It's
No,
pretty
so
close.
Well, I know there's the one part that is grass. If you're driving from,
You know what, I'm just going to stop this for right now. If you want to stay after and talk to us, and we can kind of brainstorm some ideas and kind of go forward with that. But we hear you, and we hear all the voices that aren't here as well, because I know that there's a lot more of you who are frustrated. So
I
we'll
can
look
tell
into
you
that.
this now, as liaison, the lawyers look, I could feel her burning a hole in my head. What's he going to say? This is very simple. This is safe. As liaison to the police department, it's my personal opinion that the traffic situation on that road and on the entrance to you has gotten to the point where it is becoming a traffic safety liability for everyone involved. So for public safety, we're going to be looking very strongly into all suggestions, and then we can talk more. We can form it, we invite your entourage to come meet with us, and we will discuss our possibilities.
Isn't overnight parking a $250 fine?
I'm not positive about.
Because I know it used to be a
But I-
fine and an appearance.
That's overnight, yeah, but I don't think that's the issue. It is $50.
No, I know, but
just
if it were $250 a ticket, it
to
might
increase it.
dissuade.
We
Yeah.
certainly can talk about increasing the fine, but
That's a good idea.
I
I think the issue becomes one of if you're going to increase, again, I'm getting out of my lane a little bit, but you're going to increase the fine to address that issue, the impact to just the person that has a parking violation, on
Right.
Tuesday night.
I think, the simpler idea is just to close that entrance.
Yeah. So we'll.
Would you check that overnight? I think overnight parking is $250.
I think you're right.
But I don't think but most of the issue isn't overnight.
It's also.
No, I know. I'm just saying, we have
One piece of it.
we have a prohibitive fine that when that ordinance was changed, it had a lower fine, I believe, but a mandatory appearance. And we dropped the mandatory appearance, but went with a
Correct.
larger fine. So what if we did a larger fine than a mandatory appearance
For just that area.
for just that area?
I have to look
How do
into
you
it.
enforce that?
I'd look into it. I mean, you do have a safety concern. I do think that the simpler answer is to close that entrance and so that they can't, they'll stop coming.
Well, they can just enter from 520, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, you can go through the county entrance,
They have a
right?
huge parking lot.
Yeah.
Go there.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Michelle?
Michelle Batista, 8 White Oak Drive. I'm concerned that the Friends of the Library events are no longer shared via the notification list and are now buried under a menu item on the town website under community and local happenings. Does anyone even know to even look there? I didn't, because I know Trina said she posted it, and I went to look where they're normally posted, and I didn't see it. So then I emailed her back, and she relayed that this is the new policy. I know, Tara, you were going to get back to me. Resolution 144 under the consent agenda. Why are we forming a new committee for the nation's 250th when we already have a historical preservation committee in town? I know in the beginning of the year you closed out some of the committee commissions, et cetera. I don't have no problem with that. But why not just add more members to historic preservation than forming a new committee? Because we have already talked about what we wanted to do for next year. And then the other items you were talking about buying the individual units of the 66 that are owned in the grant. But then why didn't we buy the 22 that were up for sale below market value? It makes no sense to me. And then there was a $55 bills list item for the Montrose School from Taylor Fence. Assuming that was a broken fence that I had seen previously, but nobody ever really mentioned it, and Mary didn't know about it either.
Thank you, Michelle. You guys might be able to speak on the website stuff. But I wanted to get back to you on the affordability, the extension of the affordability controls. We've spoken of this previously. Those 22 units were owned by a private unit owner. The affordability controls had not expired. Therefore, the right of first refusal of the township coming in and purchasing them was not an option. Just like if you choose to go and sell your house tomorrow, the township can't jump in and say, no, you can't sell it. So that wasn't an option provided to us by the person who owned those 22 units. They chose to sell them. That was not an option provided to the township, unfortunately. And our attempt is to extend the affordability controls, not necessarily when people sell their unit. People can remain in their units, and we would extend affordability controls for that, because we certainly don't think 66 people are going to be looking to sell tomorrow. Anything? I apologize if there's other things that.
The 250th.
Oh, the 250, thank you.
I'll use with that.
I was going to say that the reason we formed a formal committee is because in order to get recognized by the national group that is doing that and getting involved with their social media, their posting, and kind of linking, we had to form a formal committee. Even though we have had lots of things going on in our town to do that, and just because it's people being on that committee doesn't necessarily negate you being involved at all. It's just the town had to form a formal committee in order for it to be recognized by the national committee.
Right, so county's quarterbacking that one, and they've had consultants and a whole lot of money to promote this. And as part of their countywide coordination on behalf of the national movement of this, endeavor, like the mayor said, we had to form a committee to comply. That committee consists of members of the Historic Preservation Committee, but it was just what they wanted to see formed. And historic preservation, a lot of the criteria for what we do, what they want to see, it's very convenient for the Historic Preservation Committee because we do all that stuff already. So the suggested things we do, they want to see during this period, we already do. So it is an opportunity for the township to tap into their resources to better promote things that we already do. All we have to do is say we're doing this in conjunction with you. So for example, Montrose School, not this coming, then that, we could say this is part of that celebration, and we're going to pump out the advertising to, the budget is, quadruple of what we have, and we're going to reach a lot more people. So I do believe there's several members of the Historic Preservation Committee on that committee as well, so they can report back to the meeting.
And everybody hasn't been, has finalized. I mean,
Right.
obviously, we're looking for
Yes.
volunteers, but we had to get,
Then we
get
need-
recognized. So
Right.
that's what
Then
we
we'll
had to
form
do.
the committee via ad hoc resolution. It'll be advisory only. It will not be required to post a meeting. It will not be required to post minutes, et cetera, et cetera. It'll be advisory only.
And I'm assuming that, bulk of the committee is going to be from historic. We already do all that.
Right, and again, it doesn't mean historic preservation on its own can't do stuff related to the 250 as well. So it's not like everything has to get funneled through that group. Anybody else from the public?
Mayor,
I'm sorry.
if I can just address the website
yes,
part of
thank
it.
you.
The township is constantly contacted by groups that are not township groups to post various things, whether it's a county function, whether it's a Friends of the Library function, or any other group. So, I discussed this with Kathleen, and, we created a page on the website that's called Local Happenings for anything, whether it's a county event, another group event, and decided to try to leave news and notices post to something like a historic preservation, which is a township board or committee or commission, and leave, clogging up news and notifications with things like that. Because when you're constantly contacted by groups that are not township groups, how do you decipher which one you're going to post, which one you're not going to post? Then it becomes an issue. So,
It's a way to accommodate those that are looking for our assistance in getting the word out.
and
Without-
those,
Without conflating that with what is considered a township sponsored.
correct. What's a
Municipal site.
township
Correct.
function versus another group function? And we're contacted constantly for that. Can you put this on your website? Can you, whether it's a county function or another group function? And we
So,
thought
for
that would be a
example,
good way
The
to get those
CMDA was going to have a function, would be posted on that page as well.
on local happenings,
Right,
correct?
okay.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Which we don't do that.
You should.
We have our own website.
Yes, could you pass that along?
What?
They have their own website.
We have our own website.
Anyone, I'm sorry, Elaine Mann, you were coming up.
Elaine Mann, 587 Route 34 in Colts Neck. Committeeman Viola, can you confirm or deny that you are the liaison to the DPW and the finance chair, where you review the bills list and you tell everything has been approved, and then the township votes on the vouchers? Last night at 6 p.m., Laird Road Pickleball Tennis Court parking lot, a resident reported a top-of-the-line DPW truck with a trailer attached. The trailer had 2 riding lawnmowers aboard, parked under the shade tree with no DPW workers in sight. What time do the DPW employees finish for the day? Sometime after 6:15 p.m., the DPW workers returned to their truck and equipment and drove off. Were they being paid overtime? And if so, why? The bills list issues on, that I've looked at this particular bills list was the grinding from Mazza for $11,000, lunch for DPW workers at $84.40, Gus Bax's $54.48 for food, Broadwood Court, Strong Roots, $7,000, and the list goes on. Buck's tree removal for $6,000, Deep Grooming, 5 Points Park at $2,850, uniforms with boots for the DPW, $5,435.25, and Riverview grass cutting, $11,748, and Strong Roots again for $3,965. And there were some others that weren't that high, but the total was $48,684.43. So I'm going to ask you, what do the DPW workers do up there? Now, the cleanup day for seniors, that was done by Mazda, and it was $11,186.37 we paid. Did our DPW workers pick up and did they deliver to Mazda? Did they separate the metals from furniture, etc.? Does the township get paid for the metal? And in what form do we get paid, check or cash? There were 2 instances in the past where monies went missing. The Colts Neck police were involved and several DPW workers were involved. One was given a lie detector test and passed. The other refused to take the lie detector test. Have you ever recovered the monies? And why is the DPW employee who refused to take the test still employed? We need to change this policy in order to have more transparency. The public has a right to know that we are getting paid for metal that's taken up there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mann. One thing I will just state, we don't speak on matters of personnel or legal matters, both of which I think regarding the DPW. As far as liaisonships, everybody on Township Committee has a liaisonship of which we speak of up here. So the question of confirming or denying, we all have our different liaisonships. And the person who is the finance chair for this year is Deputy Mayor Viola. And yes, he does review the bills list, but everybody on Township Committee receives the bills list and reads over the bills list as well. But the finance chair does take a deep dive and hangs out here with the staff for days on end, going over that, just like I have spent days and hours on end looking at fire truck specs with our different liaisonships.
And DPW doesn't report to us. DPW reports to the administrator who reports to us. So those issues are dealt with by the administrator, just like all employee or all work assignments. Your questions on the grass cutting, that's on site, that's per contract, the $11,000, that's per contract. Whether or not Mazza separates the refuse that is either delivered via residents during cleanup day or after senior pickup is a Mazza function. And I'm looking for the other invoice you had mentioned. I'll keep looking.
Anybody else?
While you're looking, I can speak to the Laird Road. That was one of our Department of Public Works employees doing the cutting of the right-of-way on Laird Road. So he was parked nearby so he could access that and trim that right-of-way, which is our property.
Yeah, Riverview Landscapes is on site, which was awarded via contract.
The administrator, is DPW over budget this year?
No.
So all these things that we read every week from the public, this is all budgeted items, meaning they haven't exceeded their budget.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Well, if a chainsaw breaks, it would come out of that fund, but
Right.
there's a budget there to
But I
support
think there
maintenance
would be a
equipment.
problem if they exceeded their budgeted amount, but they're well within their budget. And yeah, the town needs maintenance and it's ongoing, and there'll be a new bills list next week or next month. So
And the issue of the theft, that's not recent.
I believe that predated
That's
me.
more
I
than
think
10
that's
years ago.
15, 20 years ago, maybe, Elaine? Do you know when that was?
I think you should do the.
I think either way, I'll just say this, we do not
can't speak
speak
to it.
on legal or personnel matters, period. Enough. There you go. Thank
So
you.
I will say this, though. I would say it's slightly disingenuous to bring up something that happened. I'll find out for next week and right, I'll find out
Anyway.
next week exactly when it happened. I think it's disingenuous to bring up something that happened out of recent memory as if it happened last month.
With that being said, would anyone else from the public like to join us? Al Ryan.
Alan Ryan, 24 Ann Street. I am a member of the fire department and I am a member of the seniors. And I'd like to see the township committee consider at the start of the meeting, the pledge of course, but then a prayer. I think we need prayer. I'm not saying anything as far as any religion or anything like that. I think we need a prayer. And I think we need to ask for guidance because times are rough. And previous times have been rough. Let's, call it what it is. And I hope that you consider that. And I would also hope to consider, because they do it at the seniors. Meredith Genevieve leads us in the national anthem and or God Bless America. And I think that's a great thing to do because we can never forget the sacrifices made for this, what I'm doing here tonight and what all these people have done behind me tonight speaking here. It's a gift. And it's a gift that should be treasured, in my opinion. And I would hope that you would consider adding a prayer and the God Bless America or the national anthem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Al. We'll certainly take that under advisement, and clearly you've never heard me sing. Anybody
You
else?
don't want to hear me sing.
Meredith Genevieve does have the voice of an angel. Can I get a motion to close public comment?
Moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next Township Committee meeting will be held on Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, 7 p.m. We have a lot of exciting ordinances and resolutions. Have a good night.
The royal keeper of the proclamation.